Hi, I'm Matt, and this is Procrastination Garage. It's Saturday morning, just after 10 a.m., and I was thinking about Dog and I making a run for McDonald's in the side-by-side this morning, and then I realized, I'm not quite legal. On our ride the other day, I lost my right turn signal. What I've discovered is it got pushed in. I probably backed into something, so it's supposed to look like that. So the question is, can I quickly and easily get it? I'm not sure how to get to it. I see if I remove this bolt right here, that may give me enough room to go in up through here and basically pry this panel back and get my fingers in there. That's what I'm going to shoot for. The good news is I could reach it and I fished it. The problem is the little grommet is toast. So I can probably push it back through. I'm not sure it's going to stay long term. But we should be able to get it at least in there temporarily. Yep, easily push back through. So let me get the screw back in and then we'll push this back in. Or maybe we should push this back in and then put the screw back. So it's Sunday evening, about 7 o'clock, and the side-by-side is sitting out here under the patio cover, pretty much where I parked it when I came back from McDonald's yesterday morning. Have done basically nothing, but let's do one little project this evening. In the mail yesterday, I found the mesh back window. We'll call it a window. It's not really a window. It's for dust mitigation. This is supposed to attach to the roll bar somehow. No instructions whatsoever. We'll figure it out. Best guess is it goes on the outside of the outer bars, which means my high lift jack is going to have to go. Which, you know what? I'm having troubles. I just can't win. It's tearing up my rooftop, which is junk anyway, but I hate doing that. So I think I'm going to end up laying the jack down and maybe going across this thing or on the inside of it. I don't know. We're not worried about that tonight, but we'll go ahead and get it out. The jack has been moved out of the way, and I also disconnected the roof area back there. That'll make it easier. Now, with the ball bungees spaced every so, whatever the distance is, there may be some interference with the fire extinguishers. So fire extinguishers may have to slide one way or another, but it should work. I've got the 4 ball bungees across the top end, and so far I'm liking it. Well, I've got 4 across the top and then the top 2 on the sides. Well, let me finish up and I'll show you. Well, here's the deal. I don't know if it's going to work, but the fit and finish and everything is really nice. I'm happy. It fits the space. The ball bungees work just like they're supposed to. I don't know. It actually looks good on the machine. So time will tell if it does any good. It kind of shields the fire extinguishers just a bit, so they're just not so in your face, which I kind of like. All right, now we got to figure out the jack situation, but again, not tonight. It's that time of the video again. Do me a favor, hit the like button and subscribe, and please tell all your friends. Thanks a lot. It's Tuesday, around 11 a.m., and today I've got a couple of oil change projects we need to handle. One is my daughter's car. You've seen that before. Won't cover that. But the other one is the Terex, the side-by-side. I've not ever changed the oil in it, and I probably should have. But anyway, we're going to do it today, I think. We just got to figure out how. A month or so ago, we learned where the oil goes in. Now we have to figure out where the oil comes out and then how to get the filter out. So it's up underneath the bottom somewhere. I think there's a panel that's covering it. So let's see if we can figure out what panel and if we can get it off. Here we are looking up underneath, and I would guess it's this panel right there. So it's got 4 bolts holding it. Now the problem is these things are put in with rib nuts, I think. So, I seemed like one time I tried to take one of the panels off and one of them was spinning. So I don't know. We've got to get it off. Hopefully it'll just come undone like it's supposed to. Let me try and I'll show you. Look at that. Came right off. All right, that's good. And what we learned was the actual drain plug is right there. So the only thing up inside there, up inside that panel, is the filter. I'll show you that when I pull it. I'm not sure how well in focus that is. I can't get any closer. There's the filter right there, right next to the drive shaft. So I just need to unscrew that. There is the new Kawasaki Genuine oil filter and Kawasaki Genuine oil. I've coated the little gasket there with oil, so now I'm getting ready to put that back up in there. And I'll tighten it just as tight as I can get it by hand. And just like that, we're on the road. So the oil change kit I bought on Amazon, which was supposed to come with 4 quarts of oil and a filter, only came with 3 quarts of oil and a filter. Okay, I'll take some responsibility for not inventorying it when the package came in, but I shouldn't have to. It's like going to McDonald's and not getting on my food order. Yeah, I should check it, but I shouldn't have to because you should do your freaking job. Anyway, so now we're headed to the Kawasaki dealer, which is down Union Gap, which is, 25 minutes away, 25 minutes back. Plus I have to pay for a quart of oil, which in theory I've already paid for. If there's any good news, it's I'll buy another quart so I have an extra on hand, because the Terex says use just a touch of oil, not much, but a little bit. So it is what it is. All right, we're back. We've got a full gallon. So what that means now is I've got 3 extra quarts of oil, because I couldn't buy them by the quart. All I had was this gallon jug. All right, no biggie, other than the fact it was 40 bucks. But they say everything happens for a reason, and maybe that's true. I just realized, see that washer right there? That fell off. I didn't know it was even there. So that's goes between the drain plug and the bottom of the block of the engine. So right now the drain plug is back in and that washer's not there. Now, is it the end of the world? Absolutely not. Will it leak? Probably not. But it is supposed to be there. So since we haven't put any oil in the machine yet, it'll be real easy to add that. If I'd already put some oil in there, I probably would just skip it and try and remember to add it next time. Unless it leaked, and if it leaked, then we'd start over. But yeah, more than likely it wouldn't. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and reinstall that. And we're going to get the 3.8 quarts of oil into the machine. That's what is required. There you can see the oil fill. That's with the red mark on it. And you access this through the side panel underneath the driver's seat. That's the easiest way to get to it, I found. So now I need to there's a little rubber panel that goes back on here. And then backing out the panel that goes on there. And then this job is done. Rubber panel back in place. Outer side panel back in place. And the seat bottom in place as well. Now I still have the panel up underneath the little skid plate. I'll go ahead and take care of that now. It's just about 9 p.m. and I just finished washing my daughter's car. Yeah, I'm a nice guy. Sometimes I do it. Anyway, I could do a little bit more on the wheels, maybe in the morning. And I absolutely need to check the oil in the morning. I got some conflicting information when I was looking up the capacity. Some things said 5.3 and some said 4.8 quarts. And then that makes me wonder is how much I put in on the last time when I sent her on her way to California. because if I know how much is supposed to go in there, I rarely check it on the dipstick, because what's the point? I know how much is supposed to be in there. But if I put in 4.8, it's fine. It's a Mazda. It's good for it, but it's probably 5.3. And I may have put in 5.3 last time. I just don't remember. So we'll check that. And then when I figure it out, I will write it underneath the hood so I know. And I'll show you how I do that. Anyway, that's it for the night. I got to go eat dinner. It's Wednesday afternoon, about 2 o'clock. And time to check the oil in my daughter's car and see if we're over or under. I'm guessing we're about 0.3 quarts under. Can you tell? Trust me, it's under. And so we remember next time, using a Sharpie, 5.3 quarts, 0W20. Okay, yeah, my printing sucks, but I can read it, and that's all that matters. Good morning. It's Tuesday, around 9:30 a.m., and we're in Goldendale, Washington, and we're headed out on a mini vacation, headed to McMinnville, Oregon, first stop today, to the Air Museum there. So hopefully we'll bring you some pictures from that. So there you go. Procrastination Garage. We're procrastinating this week for sure. Welcome to McMinnville, Oregon, in the Air and Space Museum. I don't remember exactly what it's called. Maybe the Evergreen Air and Space Museum? I don't know. It's in McMinnville, Oregon. Their claim to fame, they have the original Spruce Goose, Howard Hughes' plane, and then they also have an SR-71 Blackbird. So that over there is the space area, and that's where the Blackbird is. And there's some other planes over there, an A-10, and they're just helicopters, all sorts of things. This here is a theater, which nothing was going on today. And I think that must have been the original part of the museum there, which is where the Spruce Goose is and a bunch of other planes. So this air museum also has a water park. And check that out over there, 747 with the water slide coming out of it. That's pretty awesome, I guess. I don't know, we're not going to the water park, but it looks cool. After leaving the Air Museum, we hustled over to the Oregon coast to the town of Lincoln City. That night we stayed at the Ashley Inn and Suites. It was an okay hotel, nothing special. We ate dinner at the 60s Cafe and Diner. The place was a little bit on the busy side and there was only one gal working and she was hustling, but the food was good. She did a fine job. On day 2, our destination was Garibaldi and the Garibaldi Hotel, actually Hotel Garibaldi. And it was only about a 2-hour drive direct, but we took our time and just poked our way up the coast. We stopped off at Nesquin and just any place we could get over by the ocean, we would do that. That night we had dinner at the Parkside Restaurant Lounge, which was just a block up from the hotel. We had a great dinner there, and then we had breakfast the next morning. Nice stay. Day 3 we were headed to Astoria and the Lloyd Hotel, and that was a really quick trip. I mean, it was probably only an hour and a half direct. Again, we poked our way along. We drove up into Long Beach and we went to the Last Rue restaurant. We've eaten there several times. Long Beach is in Washington, and we also took an opportunity to drive down onto the beach a little bit. Then we came back and checked into the hotel. On day 4, we beat feet for home. This trip was just my wife and I, and we enjoyed 3 days along the Oregon coast, just a chance to relax and unwind. We both needed it. It's Wednesday, just afternoon time, and I'm just wrapping up the mowing. Started yesterday. I didn't mow this section over here because I had sprinklers running, so I took care of that, and I was just making trips back and forth to spread out the grass clippings. And there's the mower right there. And that too is the mower right there. So we lost a wheel. So looking at it, it looks like the clip off the end of the axle came off. And I'm not sure what's going on. This thing, I don't think, it doesn't have bearings, it's got bushings, and they kind of wore out. So we've got an issue here. Started looking around a little bit and found these 2 washers. So these were on the outside. So there was also a clip beyond that, but I have no clue where the clip is. I looked around, I didn't see it. So now the question is, can we get this back together enough to limp it down to the shop? And actually, I should have another clip off that other mower. I can probably go scavenge. And by the way, those things were hot, too hot to touch. And speaking of too hot to touch, so was that axle and front suspension assembly. So I went and got a strap. I'm thinking put the strap underneath that and lift it up. I got a few chunks of wood I'm hoping to rest the front of the mower on. I've only got 4 pieces there, probably will need more. Let's see what I can accomplish. Sorry you guys aren't going to see me do it. You'll just have to trust me. We're going to call the strap Plan A, and Plan A didn't work, so we went on to Plan B. There's Plan B. It is the scissor jack out of the Copper Toad, aka Mini Tow Beast. Notice it's sitting at kind of an angle there. Kept wanting to roll backwards. Got some blocks holding up. See, the blocks are slipping. We'll push that back up. Anyway, I'm just about high enough to get the wheel back on there. We're on there, but we're going to call it Plan B point 1, point 2. I had to let all the air out of the tire because the jack was fully up and I was still about an inch away. So I let all the air out of the tire, flatten it, get on there. So you can see either there's no bushing left or the bushing is just completely wore out. Not sure which. I'll need to look at it a little closer. For now, I'm just going to put the washers back on and get a clip on there so we can get the thing out of the grass. Is that fair? Sorry that wasn't good in focus, but there you go. There is our victim wheel, the right wheel off the old other Craftsman. I thought I'd take it off the left since that wheel's already off, but I must have scavenged it already. So I'll pull the clip from this one and we'll be back in business. There it is, let's go. Let's not lose it. Can you tell? It's on, good as new. All right, we still have a very flat tire, but we're going to go ahead and try and limp the thing down to the shop where the air compressor is. Take the jack out, put that away, and we're going to take a break and I'm going to go in and order some parts. We gambled and we lost. Came off the bead. I'd have been better off to drag the air up there. Would have been quicker in the long run. So now I've got to get it reseated. BatchBug. I've got the mower jacked up with one of my bottle jacks, and tires off the ground, and it's mostly back in place. There is a little bit of a leak around the outer edge there, so I went ahead and took the valve stem out. So I'm hoping a quick shot of air will seat it. If not, I can put a strap around it. So that'll be plan B, but we're hoping it'll go. The gods were smiling. We're all pumped up, good to go. So again, the lesson that should be learned is to just fill up my little mini tank and take it up there. But no, I'm not that bright. Will I do it next time? Hard to say. Hope so. If it happens in the near future, I'll remember this. If it happens a year from now, I'll probably try this again and be bit in the butt again. We'll see. I took a lunch break, went on Amazon, and looked for bushings. And better yet, what I found was a bearing upgrade kit. So it comes with 4 bearings and all the parts to do both sides of the front axle. The only thing is we need to take a couple measurements just to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. So what we need is a 3/4 inch axle diameter and about a 1 3/8 inch inner wheel surface. So let's get a tool and measure that. I've got my trusty digital caliper here, and while it's probably not the most accurate thing, it should be more than accurate enough for this. Without taking the wheel off, I can't actually get on it exactly, but that looks to be a pretty close approximation right there. And it's I'm set at 0.71, so I'm sure if I open that up to 0.75, that'd be just perfect. So we're going to call that 3/4 of an inch for the axle. Now let's measure the wheel. Instead of taking the wheel off of that one, we'll use the wheel that was already off from the other one. You may recall earlier, I don't know when, last year, we swapped wheels because this one had bad bushings in it. So what I'm seeing though is I've got this inner piece here, what's left of a bearing race or what's left of a bushing. I'm going to need to pound that out. I barely tapped it and it popped right out, but look at that, it's pretty wore. Alright, so now I just need to measure the inner diameter of that. Rough measurement, 1.34. That's exactly where it's supposed to be. So perfect, I'll order that kit. That kit's only $13. Can't go wrong. It's Wednesday afternoon, and guess what we're doing tomorrow? Yep, a day of playing the mountains. Taking the side-by-side up. So I need to get it gassed up and prepped and loaded on the trailer and ready to go for tomorrow. Woohoo! It's Thursday morning around 8:30 a.m. and we're headed up. We are a group of 3. We've got 2 side-by-sides and 1 Jeep. Not sure why nobody else wanted to come along, but hey, that's the way it is. Anyway, I don't know if you can tell off in the distance there. It's a little bit smoky. We're heading up on Chinook Pass, partly because White Pass is completely closed due to fires. So hopefully we won't see any fire activity in the area we're going. And in fact, we won't. There's nothing up there right now. So let's have some fun. 7:30 p.m. and headed home. We had a good ride today. Took a new trail we'd never been on before. It was pretty technical, and just covered some other trails that were a lot of fun. So good time. Didn't get as much video as I'd hoped, and didn't bring my new camera with me because I haven't edited some of the old video, and the biggest reason is because I don't have a mount for my camera anymore. On the last ride, I busted it off. Luckily, the camera was attached to it when it happened. So anyway, I'll keep working on that. So that's it. There you have it. We've reached the end of another episode of Procrastination Garage. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. So realize that this video was shot in July, end of July, and we are now the 1st of September as I'm putting this together. So we've got a lot of content that hasn't made it out yet. At least I hope we do. I've got a lot of stuff I need to sift through and see. Anyway, it's coming. Try and get back on that weekly schedule. I think last week I got it out on Monday or Sunday. I think I got it out on Sunday. So I'm getting out on Monday this week. I'm doing the best I can here. What can I say? Anyway, remember the number one goal of Procrastination Garage is to keep me motivated, keep me working down here in the shop, out in the yard doing yard work or something constructive, or out playing. This time we took a mini vacation. It was just the wife and I. It was mainly a road trip just up the coast. It was a fun time, but it was just quick. 3 days over and done. Anyway, down in the comments, tell me about the projects you're working on, or better yet, tell me about things you're procrastinating about. Love to hear about that as well. Check back next week for another episode of Procrastination Garage. Remember, my name is Matt, and we'll see you then. Thanks.